to day 16 of my 6th annual SLAP challenge. SLAP, S-L-A-P, stands for squats, lunges, abs, and push-ups. We are doing 40 squats, 40 lunges, 40 reps of an ab exercise, and 40 push-ups a day, every single day except Sundays, for 40 days. And this is day 16 already. Of course, you don't have to commit to doing the entire challenge with me. If you want to just do this workout with me today, that's great. There are timestamps in the description box down below the video. So if you would prefer to just skip straight ahead to the workout, you can go ahead and use the chapter markers to do that. But before you do, let me just tell you that, as I said, this is my 6th year in a row doing this challenge. And this year, I really am making a concerted effort to ensure that the challenge is accessible to day 1 beginners. So if you are not a beginner, the workout we're doing today and the workouts that we're doing this year for the challenge might not be quite difficult enough for you. They might not challenge you enough. So I'm going to recommend, if you are not a beginner, that you check out the workout that we did last year for day 16. I will link that workout up here in the iCard. I will also link it down below the video in the description box, and I will link it at the very end of the video as well. And while you're there, go ahead and save the playlist from last year. Save the playlist from my 5th annual SLAP challenge, okay? It was the same challenge. We were doing at least 40 squats, 40 lunges, 40 reps of an ab exercise, and 40 push-ups a day, every single day except Sundays for 40 days. But last year, the workouts were much more advanced. They were generally a lot longer because we were frequently doing more than just those 160 reps. We were doing more difficult variations of those reps. We were frequently adding weight, whereas we have not been adding weight pretty much at all this year. And we were incorporating cardio into a lot of those workouts as well. So if you are more advanced and you want to do this challenge, but you want to actually be challenged by the challenge, then I'm going to recommend that you follow along with last year's playlist. I will link that playlist up here in the iCard as well. I will also link it in the description box down below the video, and I will link it again at the very end of the video so you can't miss it. But save both playlists. Save the playlist from last year and also save the playlist that I made this year, because the workouts we're doing this year, even though if you're more advanced, these might not be very challenging for you, they are still great workouts. And the really great thing about the workouts that we're doing this year is that if you are in pretty good shape, you're going to be able to finish almost all of these workouts in under 10 minutes. So on those days where you have some more time and you're looking for something super intense and maybe a little bit longer, you can do the workouts from last year. But on those days where you're really pressed for time and you just have a few minutes and you want to just bust out a few quick reps, you can do a quick 160 reps with me in like under 10 minutes by choosing from this playlist. So save both playlists and then you can just kind of bounce back and forth between the two. The challenge is really easily customizable. So I'm going to be sharing a new workout with you every single day, just like I did last year. So you are of course invited to work out right along with me and do exactly what I'm doing every single day. But if on any given day you don't like the workout that I'm doing, or the variations of these exercises I'm doing don't work for you for whatever reason, you can always just substitute them out with different variations of squats, lunges, abs, and push-ups. Whatever variation of those exercises does work for you. And you can kind of bounce around between the two playlists if you want. You can choose random days. You don't have to go in order. You don't even have to do a structured workout, okay? If you don't like my workouts, you can make up your own workout. But if you don't want to do a structured workout at all, just get your reps done randomly throughout the day. So you could get up in the morning and do 10 squats, 10 lunges, 10 reps of an ab exercise, any ab exercise you want, and 10 push-ups. Any variations of those 4 exercises that you want to do. And then you could just repeat that 3 more times throughout the day. So you could do it again after lunch, you could do it again after you get home from work, and then once more before bed. And that's your 160 reps. So as long as you are getting those 160 reps done at some point during the day, that's fine. You're good. You have met your requirement to participate in the challenge. So if you're more advanced, you're welcome to stick around. This workout is going to be super short and probably very easy for you, but it might make a good warm-up for a bike ride or a long run or a hike or something like that. If you are a beginner, you are in the right place, because as I said, this year I am making a concerted effort to ensure that the challenge is really accessible and really doable for ultra day one beginners. So if you are a beginner, you are in the right place. You can absolutely do this workout with me today. You can absolutely do this challenge. Even if you think you can't, you can. All right, even if you think you can't do squats, lunges, abs, and push-ups, you can. And if it sounds like too much to commit to 40 days, then commit to 20 days, commit to 10 days, commit to doing what you can. And if you can't do 40 reps of each exercise every day, try to commit to doing 30 reps or 20 reps or 15 reps, okay? Again, the challenge is very easily customizable, so if you're doing it, it's your challenge. So do it in a way that works for you, but I would rather have you do 15 reps a day than no reps a day. And I would rather have you do 20 days of the challenge or 10 days or 1 day of the challenge than no days. It's always better to do something than nothing. So make the commitment to do what you can, and then please give me the opportunity to convince you that you really can do these exercises and you really can do this challenge. So if you are a day one beginner, you're in terrible shape, you've never worked out a day in your life, I'm going to recommend that you begin by saving the playlist. There is a playlist for this challenge that contains all of the workouts in chronological order, so it's super easy to follow along. I will link that playlist up here in the iCard. It will also be linked in the description box down below the video, and it will be linked at the very end of the video so you can't miss it. So click on the link, save the playlist, so that you have all of the workouts, you have the playlist readily available to you every single day. You know exactly where to go. And then open the video for day one. Click on that day one video and begin by watching that day one video. That video is going to explain everything you need to know about what the challenge is, why we are doing it, how to participate, where to begin. It's also going to explain and demonstrate your proper form for how to do squats, lunges, abs, and push-ups. And you're going to see tons of beginner modifications that I promise you can do, no matter your fitness level, no matter your age or your weight or any other obstacle that you feel is going to hold you back from being able to do these exercises. I promise you that you can do these exercises, you can do the challenge. And if you watch that day one video, you will see what I'm talking about. So start by watching that day one video. If you still have questions after watching the day one video, please remember that I am right here doing the challenge right along with you every single day. I'm working out with you every single day, but I am also here to provide guidance, support, encouragement. I'm here to answer any questions that you might have. So watch that day one video, reach out to me if you have questions, and then when you are ready to start the challenge, go ahead and start with your day one workout on a Wednesday. As long as you start with that day one workout on a Wednesday, everything will fall into place. All you have to do is follow along with the playlist. I made it super easy to follow along. If you're undecided whether or not you want to participate in the challenge, but you definitely don't feel like you want to go back and start on day one, that's fine. Start today, all right? Stick around. I'm going to explain and demonstrate all of the exercises that we're doing today, and then we're gonna warm up. We're gonna do a quick 5-minute warm up together, and then we're gonna get our reps done together. So if you wanna just jump in and start the challenge on day 16, that is absolutely fine with me. If you don't wanna do the challenge, just do this one workout with me. So let me go ahead and show you the exercises that we're going to be doing for today's workout. We're starting with squats and lunges, and we're going to be combining them. All right, I'm going to be doing an air squat, just a basic air squat. And then I'm going right into a pivot lunge. And then back to front for my next rep. I'm alternating sides with each rep. So with my next rep, I'm going to squat and then pivot to the opposite direction and then pivot to face front again, okay? So it's just a squat, lunge, squat, and lunge. All right, so remember with your squats that you want to start by tucking your shoulder blades into your back pockets. So your shoulders are back and down. Your abs are going to be nice and super strong and tight and engaged, and make sure that you're pushing your booty back so that your back stays flat and the weight stays in your heels. Do you see how I can actually pick up my toes? That's what you're going for, okay? Keep that chest lifted nice and high. So as you're trying to touch the wall behind you with your booty, imagine trying to touch the wall in front of you with your chest. You want your spine to be nice and elongated so that you don't allow your back to round like this. Shoulders back and down. Chest is lifted nice and high, and that's where it's gonna stay. Abs are tight, push the booty back, and now keeping your back flat and keeping the weight in your heels, you can go ahead and sink down into your squat. Then you're going to actively press the ground away from you with your heels so that you really activate all of the muscles in your feet, all the way through your legs, your quads, your glutes to stand, okay? So that's just your basic air squat, and that is the squat variation we're doing today. As soon as you're finished with your squat, you're going to pivot by picking up one heel and one toe. So with my first rep, I'm going to pivot to this side. The side that I'm going to end up facing for my lunge is the toe. I'm going to pick up that toe and kind of pivot this foot on my heel. And I'm going to do the opposite with the other foot. I'm going to pick up my heel and kind of pivot my foot this way on my toe, okay? And then once I'm here, I'm just going to bend both knees and sink down into my lunge. I like to tap the ground with this back knee, but you don't have to do that. Please make sure, especially if you are going to tap the ground with your knee, that the movement is under control so you don't bang your knee into the ground. And then also you want to do your best to make sure that the knee of this front leg is more over the heel of your front foot as opposed to being out over the toes like this, okay? So you're going for about a 90-degree angle in this front knee, and then you're going to press the ground away and then pivot back. So this back foot, the heel is already elevated as we're doing the lunge. You're gonna keep that heel elevated as you pivot forward again. And so you're going to pick up the toes of this foot that's pointing towards the wall and pivot back on the heel of your other foot. Make sense? Until you're facing forward again, all right? So then right into your next rep, squat, and then we're going this way. So I'm going to pick up the toes of this foot and pivot on my heel. I'm going to do the opposite with the other foot. I'm going to pick up the heel and pivot this way on my toes. Bend both knees, sink down into my lunge, controlling the movement, 90-degree angle in the front leg, and then press the ground away to stand. This heel is already elevated, so we're going to pivot back forwards on the toes of this foot and the heel of this front foot. So I'm gonna pick up the toes and pivot forward, okay? So it's always your back leg when you're in the lunge where your heels are elevated. So just remember that. If I'm facing this way, then this is my back leg. So as I'm pivoting, it's always going to be this heel that's elevated. If I'm facing this way, then it's this leg that's in the back. So it's always going to be this heel that's elevated. It just might make that pivot, that little transition between the squat and the lunge a little bit easier. For me, it's kind of intuitive, but I just wanted to kind of explain what I'm doing in case it's not intuitive for you. So hopefully that helps. If it's not helpful to get so bogged down in the details of what your feet are doing as you make that transition from squat to lunge and back, then don't overthink it, okay? Try a couple of reps. Try to just think, okay, I'm gonna squat, and now I'm gonna face this way, and lunge, and now I'm gonna face back. And see what feels natural for you. And if you're just not getting it, if you don't have the coordination or it's not making sense, that's why I took the time to break it down. So you can kind of break down the movement and see if it starts to click. And if it's not gonna click for you, if it's just kind of too tricky or too awkward to make that transition, do dragon lunges instead. I call them dragon lunges. Everyone else calls them curtsy lunges. But traditionally, I have done this workout with dragon lunges. I just decided to switch it up today. So, or a curtsy lunge. I call them dragon lunges, okay? But if you know what a curtsy lunge is, that's what it is. So if you imagine that you're standing in a box, what you're going to do is pick up one foot and step behind you and diagonally across your body. So I'm going to pick up this foot and I'm going to lunge towards that back corner of the box on the opposite side of the foot that's doing the lunging, okay? So this is my standing leg, I'm going to pick up the other foot and I'm going to lunge behind me and diagonally across my body. And then from there, it's the same thing. I'm bending both knees, I'm tapping the ground with this back knee, but you don't have to. You can just come here, work to your own level, just make sure you're controlling the movement, do not bang your knee into the ground, and then just step forward. So this foot never moves, okay? Then do your squat, and then other side. All right, so now this is going to be my standing leg. This would be my lunging foot. I'm going to pick up the foot, lunge behind me, and diagonally across my body towards this corner of my box. Bend both knees. This foot never moves. Press this heel into the ground, bring the foot forward, and squat, okay? You can try that instead. And if you want to increase the difficulty, the way I normally do this workout is this. It's a dragon lunge, and then a leg lift before you put the foot down. And then a squat with a jump up. So it's a little more advanced, a lot more taxing. Switching sides, dragon lunge, leg lift, then put the foot down, and then squat and jump. All right, so depending on what feels good for you, what works for you, how much you want to challenge yourself today, there's a few different options. You can do dragon lunge, leg lift, squat and jump, which is kind of the traditional combo for this day 16 workout. If that's too difficult, but you like that combo, you can remove the leg lift and just do a dragon lunge. You can do the squat and remove the jump. Just do a dragon lunge, step it forward, and then do a squat, okay? So whatever's going to work for you, but I'm going to be doing squat, pivot, squat, and pivot. And again, we're alternating sides with each rep, right? So you're going to count 1, squat, lunge, that's 2, squat, lunge, 3, and 4. All right, so we're going to do that a total of 40 times, which means that by the time we have completed our squat and lunge combo, we'll be finished with squats and lunges. We will have completed 40 squats and we will have completed 20 lunges on each side for a total of 40 lunges on the day. Let's skip ahead to push-ups. I'm going to be doing a 1-knee push-up. So if you start down here in kind of a tabletop position with your hands directly underneath your shoulders and your knees underneath your hips. Now kind of inch your knees together a little bit so that they're more towards the middle and almost touching. And now you're going to pick up one foot and extend the leg behind you. Now this is your position for the push-up. So you're going to bend your elbows and lower your chest as close to the mat as you can. And then straighten your elbows and push yourself back up. Now from here, I'm going to put this foot down. I'm going to press the mat away with my hands and I'm going to press the ground away with this back foot. And as I do that, I'm going to lift this knee that's bent and tuck it in towards my chest. Then put the knee back down, lift the foot, and go right into your next rep. Okay, so make sure that you are continually pressing the mat away from you so that you're not sinking into your shoulders like this. Push the mat away, make sure your shoulders are away from your ears. Keep your head in line with your spine, so you don't want to let your head drop down like this. You don't need to overcorrect and hyperextend your neck. You just want your head in a nice neutral position, in line with your spine. And then just make sure that your abs are super strong and tight and engaged. And if you cannot get your chest all the way down to the mat, that's fine. If you're here, you're here. Again, please work to your own level, but what you're going for is to get really in this position. It's kind of my chin that touches the mat, but you're trying to keep your body in one straight line as you move, and basically just keep your abs nice and tight, keep your back nice and flat, and without moving anything, just see how close to the ground you can get. Does that make sense? And then from here, put the back foot down, and then press the mat away from you. Press the ground away from you with that back foot. Lift your hips, tuck that knee in towards your chest as high as you can, and then put the knee back down. Lift that back foot and right into your next rep. If doing the push-up on just one knee is too difficult for you, or if the knee lift is just too difficult for you, eliminate it. So if you can do the one knee push-up, but you find this too difficult, just eliminate it. Just do one knee push-ups. If one knee push-ups are too difficult, just have both knees on the ground. So starting here in your plank position, pressing the mat away from you, shoulders are away from the ears. Your abs are strong and tight and engaged. Your head is in line with your spine. It's not dropping down like this. It's not, your chin is not jutting out to the front like this. And your hips are lifted high. You're not allowing your hips or your belly to droop down towards the mat. You're tightening up your abs. You're using your ab muscles to lift your hips nice and high, getting rid of that arch in your back. Now from here, just place your knees down on the mat. And from this position, you're going to bend your elbows and lower your chest as close to the mat as you can. Then push the mat away from you, maintaining that straight line from your knees to your shoulders. So you want to make sure that if you're unable to get your chest all the way down, make sure you're not compensating by lowering your hips or your belly down to the mat, causing your back to arch. You don't want that. The other really common mistake that I see people make, if they can only come down this far, is that they'll compensate by lowering their forehead down. Remember, your head should be in line with your spine. If you imagine that you're standing up against a wall, and you're just, imagine just having the back of your head just kind of lightly pressing into the wall. All right, so just want your head, everything to be perfectly straight up and down. Head is in line with the spine, and make sure your head doesn't move. You don't want to be bobbing your head up and down. And if you cannot get your chest all the way down to the mat, that's fine. That is the goal. The goal is to be able to actually touch the mat with your chest, but it's not the objective. The objective is to maintain that straight line from your knees to your shoulders. Okay, so make sure you're not allowing your hips or your belly to drop. Remember, you want to tighten up your abs, use your ab muscles to lift your hips high, keep them high. Your abs should be super strong and tight and engaged the whole time. You want to make sure you're not sinking into your shoulders. Press the mat away from you. Keep your shoulders away from your ears. Head is in line with the spine, and from here, nothing moves. If you cannot get your chest all the way down, that's fine. Just shorten up your range of motion. If you can only come down this far, then that's your push-up. As soon as you've got your chest as close to the mat as you can, without breaking that one straight line from your knees to your shoulders, then just press the mat away from you and push yourself back up. Return to your starting position. And of course, if you want to increase the difficulty, you can do the push-ups from your toes. That's absolutely fine. It's the exact same thing. The only difference is that instead of your straight line going from your knees to your shoulders, your straight line will be from your heels to your shoulders. But other than that, everything is the same. Okay, so you can just do your push-up from your toes. And then if you want, you can add that little knee tuck. Okay, so it's more than just tucking the knee. I'm actually lifting the knee up as I tuck it in. So I'm bending the knee, tucking it in towards my chest, but also pressing the ground away, pushing my hips up in the air, and driving my knee not only forward towards my chest, but up as high as I can. All right, so remember that any push-up variation you want to do is absolutely fine. So you can pick from what I just showed you, or you can pick any other push-up variation you want. But one more time, what I'm going to be doing today is this. It is a one knee push-up plus a knee lift, okay? Staying on the same side the whole time. We're going to be doing sets of 10. So I'm going to be doing 10 reps on that leg. Then I'm going to move on to abs, okay? So for my ab exercise, I am doing these reverse plank knee tucks. I'm going to have my hands behind me. I'm going to lift up my hips and extend the legs so that I'm in this reverse plank position. And then from here, you're just gonna tuck one knee at a time in towards your chest. Each knee tuck is one rep, and we're just doing sets of 10. So it's going to go by pretty quickly, but still it's kind of a challenging exercise. So if it's too difficult to get up into this reverse plank position without allowing your hips to drop, you want to really make sure that you're pressing your hips up, like you're imagine trying to touch the ceiling with your hip flexors. If that is too difficult for you and you find that your hips are dropping like this, then you're going to have to modify, okay? You want your hips up nice and high the whole time as you tuck those knees in one at a time. You want to make sure you're not allowing your hips to drop. So if it's too challenging for you, there's several things you can try. You can be down here. You can just kind of sit on your mat, press your hands into the mat behind you, and press the mat away so that your shoulders are away from your ears. Chest is lifted high. Keep your back nice and flat. And you can do the knee tucks from here. Again, just make sure you're not kind of sinking into your shoulders. Keep pressing the mat away from you. Keep your chest lifted nice and high. Make sure your abs stay super tight and engaged to keep your back flat. You can also try it with your knees slightly bent. Same thing, okay? Pushing the mat away, pushing the chest up towards the ceiling, and then lifting one knee towards your chest at a time. All right, so something like that might be helpful. You could try keeping your legs straight if that works for you, something like this. All right, so play around with it, find what's going to work for you, and just remember that if none of those options are cutting it for you, that you can substitute with any ab exercise you want. And again, I'm changing up this workout this year just because I felt like it. Typically, the ab exercise that I do here is just knee hugs, so you can do those if you want. Just come down on your back on the mat, extend your legs straight, extend your arms up overhead, and now you're going to lift your shoulder blades up off the mat, lift your heels up off the mat a few inches, and then bend your knees and hug them into your chest. So bring your arms around, place your hands on your knees, and hug knees to chest. Then return to your starting position. Extend the legs straight, extend the arms up overhead. So you're gonna sit up and crunch, knees to chest, place your hands on your knees and hug them to your chest. Return to your starting position. Trying to keep your shoulder blades up off the mat the whole time, keeping your feet elevated the whole time. Just bend the knees, bring the hands around, place your hands on your knees, and pull your knees into your chest. Okay, so you can do that if you want, but just remember that any sit-up variation, crunch variation, literally any ab exercise you want to do is absolutely fine, so just do what works for you. So that's it, that's all 4 exercises along with several other options and modifications. Now here's the format. We're starting with that squat and lunge combo. So any squat variation you want to do combined with any lunge variation you want to do will work, but counting 1 squat plus 1 lunge as 1 rep, you're going to do 40 reps of that little combo, making sure that you're alternating sides for your lunge with each rep. That's part one. So by the time we complete 40 reps of that combo, you will be all finished with squats and lunges. So then we'll move on to abs and push-ups. I'm going to be doing sets of 10. So I'm going to start with 10 push-ups, and then I'm going to do 10 reps of my ab exercise. And we're just going to repeat that a total of 4 times to get our 40 reps of abs and push-ups in. So my push-up variation is going to be on one knee. So that means I'm going to have to make sure that I am switching legs with each set. You can either switch legs with each set, or you can do the first 2 sets on one leg and then switch and do the second 2 sets on the other leg. It doesn't matter. Whatever works for you is fine. Just make sure you end up even on both sides if you are opting for something like that. If you're doing regular knee push-ups or push-ups from your toes, then you don't need to worry about that. But if you're doing anything where you're going to be doing all or one component of the exercise on one side, just to make sure that one way or another you're evening yourself out. But that's it. 10 push-ups, 10 reps of abs, 4 rounds, and that's our 40 abs, 40 push-ups, and that's our 160 reps. Remember that I always take the time to type out the instructions in the description box down below the video, and I'm going to do the entire workout right along with you, so watch me do it, read the instructions, but then of course, as always, if anything is unclear about the format and how everything fits together, how you can kind of customize it or modify it or change things to suit your needs, I'm right here to help, so please just ask. All right, same thing goes if you have any questions about the actual exercises that we are doing today. If you have any doubts about how to do the exercises with the correct form, or if you need any help with beginner modifications, please just reach out, okay? It's really important that you understand the movement, you understand what it is that you're asking your body to do, and that you really have a good grasp on how to do the exercises with the correct form before you begin the workout, so that you reduce your risk of injury, and also just so that you make sure you're getting the maximum benefit out of each exercise. And it's also incredibly important to me that all of my workouts, but especially these workouts that we are doing for the SLAP challenge this year, are accessible to anyone and everyone who wants to do them with me. I'm always here to help facilitate that. So do not hesitate to reach out if you have questions or if you need help. Also remember, please, especially if you are going to be working out along with the video, to make sure you're going at your own pace. You don't want to be sacrificing your form for speed. So if you're racing through the exercises because you're just trying to go fast for the sake of going fast and saying you got a good score, or if you're trying to keep up with me but you're not quite at that level yet, then that's really putting yourself at risk for injury, and I don't want anyone getting hurt. If you start rushing, your form is going to start getting sloppy, and that's not what we want. So you may need to stop and pause and rest, that's fine. Or you may just be working at a slower pace than I am, and that's fine. Go at your own pace. If you fall behind or you need to stop and rest, just pause the video and come back when you're ready. Take as long of a rest break as you need. I do want you to challenge yourself to keep the rests as short as you can, but only come back. I only want you to resume the workout once you feel that you have enough strength and enough stamina to do so with good form. Do not sacrifice your form for speed. Now, I am still recovering from something, I don't know what. I had a really awful week. I've been feeling unwell pretty much all week. And it's been a real struggle for me to get these reps done, and I'm still really fighting to build back my stamina. So if you are in decent shape, if you're feeling really good today, it's very, very likely that you will be going faster than I am. And that's great. Leave me in the dust. And if you get too far ahead, just skip ahead in the video until I catch up with you. That's great, as long as you're not sacrificing your form to get there. So whether you are faster than I am or slower than I am, it doesn't matter. It's about you. So go at your own pace, just pace, not pace. Just make sure that you are not sacrificing your form for speed. Please mind your form, it's very important. All right, hopefully I have covered everything. If you are ready to go ahead and start this workout, grab an exercise mat or a yoga mat if you have one. If not, a towel may suffice. If you're working out on a carpeted floor or on grass, you may not need anything at all. But especially if you're doing knee push-ups or if you're doing like knee hugs or something like that, you're just going to be more comfortable with something soft beneath you for the second half of the workout, our abs and our push-ups. So grab a yoga mat or an exercise mat. If you need to hold on to something for support for your squats or your lunges, or if you need to elevate your hands on a chair, for example, for the push-ups, or if you need to do standing abs. First of all, if you need to see any of those modifications, please just ask. I didn't go over them today, but I went over them on the day 1 video, and I went over them for pretty much every day for like the first week and a half of the challenge. So you can always watch any of those videos from days like 1 through 9 of the challenge to see like the standing ab exercises or like how to do wall push-ups, for example. But if you need help with that, I'm here, so please just ask if you're not seeing it, and I'll be happy to show you those modifications. But if you do need to use a chair or a stool or something for support, go ahead and get that ready as well. Just remember to please make sure that if you are holding on to a chair or some other elevated surface for support, you need to make sure that your chair or your stool or whatever you're using is strong enough to support your weight. Make sure that it is sturdy enough so that it cannot collapse or break or fold up on you when you put weight on it, and make sure that it is stable, meaning that it can't slide from underneath you when you put weight on it. So I recommend placing your chair or stool or whatever you're using on top of a mat to help it stay put. But as long as you have access to an elevated surface that is strong enough to support your weight, sturdy enough so that it won't collapse or break or fold up when you put weight on it, and stable enough so that it can't slide from underneath you, then any number of elevated surfaces will work. So a chair or a stool can work. The arm of your couch might be good, your kitchen counter, dining room table, things like that. So if you need to hold on to something for support, go ahead and get that ready now. And now you can pause the video, go get dressed, and then meet me right back here. We will do a quick 5-minute warm up together, and then we'll get our reps done. All right, so as soon as you're ready, let's get started with our 5-minute warm up routine. So you're going to begin by just letting your head kind of fall towards one side. Place your hand on top of your head and just rest it there. You're not pulling your head down. You're just letting gravity do the work. Resting your hand there and feeling this nice gentle stretch on the other side of your neck. Now we're gonna switch sides. So you're going to let your head fall towards the opposite shoulder. Place your hand on top of your head and just rest it there. Letting gravity do the work of gently pulling your ear towards your shoulder. Make sure the other shoulder's not creeping up. Keep this shoulder down. Now we're gonna do some head rolls. So you're gonna start by just letting your chin drop towards your chest and then roll to the other shoulder and back. You want your head to feel nice and heavy. Make sure your arms and your shoulders feel nice and loose, like you're just a rag doll, and you can just increase your range of motion, letting your head get heavier and heavier with each roll. And now we're just gonna roll the shoulders, really big circles with your shoulders. Feel like you're exaggerating the movement. So really kind of pushing your shoulders out in front of you, bringing them all the way up to your ears and pinching your shoulder blades together behind you. Now extend your arms out to the side. We're gonna do arm circles. You can start by making small circles and then gradually start making the circles bigger and bigger until finally you are exploring your full range of motion, making those circles as big as you can. Now step the feet a little wider than hip width apart. You're gonna bend your knees, kind of sweep your hands down in front of you, and then as you straighten the legs, you're gonna reach up, trying to touch the ceiling. And with each squat, you're sinking a little deeper, a little deeper. Keep the feet wide. We're just gonna lunge side to side, nice and gentle. And add the arms, reaching across your body with each lunge. Really reach, like you're trying to throw your arm across the room and hit the wall over there. Now step the feet together and we're just gonna march. And little by little, as the interval progresses, I want you to start playing around with driving your knees up higher and higher towards your chest until finally you're really driving those knees up as high as you can towards your chest. And now we're going to do the same thing with a jog. So start down here with a nice light jog, and then eventually, as the interval progresses, you want to start driving your knees up higher and higher towards your chest. Now for our little booty kicks. So nice light jog, but this time you are lifting your foot up behind you with each step, trying to kick your booty with your heels. Now you might need to hold on to a chair or the wall for support for this next one. If not, you can just have your hands on your hips. You're just gonna find your balance on one leg. Take the other leg and swing it towards the front, towards the back. Now other leg, so find your balance on the other leg. Pick up the opposite foot and start swinging the leg in front of you, swing it behind you. And next you're going to extend this foot out in front of you, place your toes on the floor, and just kind of draw a little semicircle on the floor. And repeat. And with each circle, you're just, or semicircle, just lifting that foot higher and higher until finally what I like to do is really drive the knee up towards my chest and then kind of guide it around with my hand. So now we're gonna repeat that on the other side. So extend the leg out in front of you. Just draw a semicircle, lifting the leg higher and higher each time, and eventually driving the knee up in front of you, guiding it around with your hand. Finally, we're doing a hamstring stretch. So it might help to use the wall or a chair to get into this stretch, because what you really want to do is try to keep your back flat for this stretch. You're not going to hurt yourself if you allow your back to round, okay? This is a thing that you can do, but for this particular hamstring stretch, I want you to try to keep your back flat. So that's why I say to use a wall or a chair if you need it, because that's going to help you to get into the stretch without rounding your back, and it just really helps to isolate your hamstrings. And it's just more effective this way, since we're only spending a few seconds in this stretch. It's best to see if you can do it with a flat back and just really isolate those hamstrings. Our 5-minute warm-up is officially over, but you guys know me, I always like to spend a few extra seconds in this hamstring stretch. So now get up, shake out the legs a little, shake out the arms. All right, so now our muscles are nice and warm. Let's go ahead and get into the workout. We are starting with squats and lunges. So I'm doing my squat lunge combo. I'm alternating sides with each rep for my lunge. We're doing 40 total reps. So as soon as you're ready, let's go. I'm starting my timer in 3, 2, 1, and go. So squat, now pivot to face this wall and lunge. Pivot to face back front, that's 1 rep. Squat, pivot to face the other direction, lunge, pivot to face forward, that's 2. So we're gonna do that 40 times, do your best. Squat, pivot, and lunge, that's 3. Squat, pivot the other way, and lunge, that's 4. 5, 6, keep going, do your best. 2, for me. I need to pause and rest. Another thing you could do if you're feeling fatigued right now, you want to keep the workout moving, is move on to abs and push-ups so that you give your legs a little bit of time to rest, and then finish up your final 20 reps of squats and lunges after you do that. It's always fine to modify, make adjustments, do whatever works for you. I'm gonna try to tackle another 10 without stopping. So when you're ready, here we go. I'm picking up my count at 20. Improving a little every day, but these reps are still taking a lot out of me, you guys. Just do your best. Your best is always good enough. All right, I'm gonna push, try to finish up these last 10 reps without stopping if I can, picking up my count at 30. That was 40. So our squats and our lunges are already complete. Now moving on to push-ups and abs. So for this half of the workout, I'm doing sets of 10. 10 push-ups, 10 reps of abs, 4 times through. So when you're ready, if you need to rest, pause the video, come back when you're ready. I'm starting with my push-ups. So extending one leg out behind me, lift the leg, and now one knee push-up, foot down, lift the knee. That's one. Staying on the same side for all 10 reps. So push-up, foot goes down, lift the knee. That's 2. Push-up, knee raise. Remember which knee is on the mat, okay? So that you can switch with each set or switch at the halfway point. That's 10. So now 10 reps of whatever ab exercise you're doing. I'm doing these reverse plank leg lifts. So lifting the hips, extend the legs. Make sure you keep those hips lifted nice and high, and then crunch. Knee to chest, alternating sides with each rep. So that's 3, 4, that's it, just 10 reps. If you feel like you want to do more, you can double count them. Counting each 2 knee tucks as 1 rep, that's up to you. Like I said, I'm still recovering, trying to take it a little easy on myself. So I'm gonna count each knee tuck as 1 rep. And now back to push-ups. So make sure you're switching sides. Extend the opposite leg out behind you. Lift the leg. push up, knee raise. 10 reps, do your best. I'm pretty sure that was 10, but I also am not quite sure. I didn't lose track towards the beginning of the set because I was chit-chatting. Just gonna do 2 more just to make sure. And I'm doing at least 10 reps. All right, that's at least 10. So now back to abs, 10 reps. All right, that's 2 rounds. 2 down, 2 to go. So make sure that you're switching sides for your push-ups. 10 reps. Final round. Switching legs for the push-ups. Just 10 more reps of abs. Push. Get up. It's really important that you give yourself a little cool down. It doesn't have to be like a structured cool down, like a little cool down routine, like how we do a warm-up routine. I never do that. You can if you want. Lots of people do that. I always just kind of pace around a little bit. Feeling my triceps after those reverse planks. So maybe just quick little tricep stretch. My quads feel okay now that they've had a few minutes to rest, but we did work them hard during that first half. So maybe a little quad stretch. Just shake out the arms, shake out the legs. Swing the arms back and forth. Maybe stretch the shoulders a little bit. The important thing is just that you want to keep moving, keep the circulation going, kind of keep your blood flowing a little bit while you allow your heart rate to come down. So, it doesn't have to be a structured routine, just that much is absolutely fine. But you guys, that's our 160 reps. Well done. We are not quite finished yet. No workout of mine is ever complete until we have done our bonus burpee. So we have just 1 rep left to go. The bonus burpee is mandatory. It is part of the challenge. You must do some burpee variation as your bonus burpee after each and every workout. It's that exclamation point on the end of the workout, that celebration that we summoned the motivation to get dressed and get out here and get this done today. That is no small feat, so you deserve a pat on the back, and we do that with a celebratory bonus burpee. It is also that final nail in Brutus's coffin. We are slapping Brutus right across his face with this final bonus burpee. And if you don't know who Brutus is, again, watch that video from day 1. You'll learn all about Brutus. He's a big part of this challenge. But we are using our 40 reps of squats, lunges, abs, and push-ups every day to slap Brutus in the face and shut him up. And this bonus burpee that we do after each workout is that one final slap. All right, so it's really gonna shut him up for the day. It's gonna turn off all of that negative self-talk because you did the thing. And that's amazing. So if you are a beginner, let me walk you through how to do a beginner bonus burpee. You're going to start by standing in the middle of your mat. You're going to bend down and place your hands on the mat in front of you, and then you're going to step your feet back into a plank position. Now, if you want to include a push-up, go ahead and put your knees down for a push-up. You don't have to do a push-up. You can simply eliminate it if you prefer. Step the feet back in and stand. Come up onto your toes if you can, and if you want, you can add a little jump. If you are not a beginner and you would like to try to do the push-up from your toes, let's go ahead and do one final bonus burpee together, and then the workout will be officially complete. So when you're ready, here we go. Final rep of the day. All right, with that, the workout is now officially complete. That took me 10 minutes and 6 seconds. I was trying to finish in under 10 minutes. I do think that I could have finished in under 10 minutes today, but I'll take this. This is fine. I don't know what was going on with me earlier in the week, but I am still recovering. I am still nowhere near 100%, and I want to make sure that I'm not pushing myself to do too much too soon. So the important thing is just that I got out here and I got the reps done. So if it missed my goal by 6 seconds, that's fine by me. I got the reps done and I felt pretty good. It was a little bit more taxing than I would have liked, but it's all good. I'm getting better, improving, and I got the reps done, so that's what's important. So now please make sure that you are taking a good 15 or 20 minutes at least to stretch. Right now, immediately after the workout is the best time to get your stretching done because your muscles are nice and warm. Warm muscles are more pliable. So if you stretch right now, that's going to be the most efficient and the most effective time to get your stretching done. Because with warm muscles, you are less susceptible to a pull or strain or like overstretching something. If you don't have time to get your stretching done now, that's fine. You can do it later on in the day. As long as you get it done at some point during the day, that's what matters. Just keep in mind that if you put off your stretching until later on in the day, your muscles will have gotten cold again. So you are going to need to take a few minutes to warm them back up before you begin stretching. The same way we warm up before the workout, it's really important to make sure that you warm up before you begin your stretching routine so that you reduce your risk of injury. So you can stretch right now, you can stretch later on in the day, whatever works for you, just as long as you don't skip your stretching. It's really important that you're getting your stretching done because first of all, it's going to help alleviate any muscle soreness that you might be experiencing, especially if you are a beginner. These workouts might be causing you a lot of discomfort. The following day, you might be really sore and stiff. It's a little difficult to move. So doing your stretching after the workout is going to go a long way towards helping to alleviate some of that muscle soreness. So it's going to make you more comfortable during the day, and it's also going to make the workouts easier moving forward. The other reason that you want to make sure that you are stretching every day is because it's going to help reduce your risk of injury moving forward. Because as you increase your flexibility, you are training your muscles to be more pliable in general, so that you're increasing your range of motion, and it's going to make it less likely moving forward that you experience any kind of muscle pull or strain during one of the workouts. And also, it's just going to increase your flexibility and your mobility, which is important in its own right. It is definitely worth prioritizing your stretching. If you're a beginner and you don't know what to do for a stretching routine, there's tons of beginner stretching routines out there. Just open up YouTube, search for beginner stretching routine, or if your muscles are really tight, search for a stretching routine for inflexible people. There are tons to choose from. If you're interested in the specific stretching routine that I do every day, it's not my stretching routine. It's just a video I found on YouTube a long time ago. I liked it, it worked for me, so I've been doing it ever since. If you want that link, I'm happy to share it with you. Normally, before I do my stretching, I would add on about 20 to 30 minutes or more of moderate paced cardio, but I am not doing that today. I'm only mentioning it because that is typically what I would be doing now. This is my 6th year in a row doing the challenge, and every year of the challenge, this is how I do it. After every single workout, I like to do about 20 to 30 minutes or more of additional cardio. Typically, I will just grab my jump rope, start playing some music that I like, and set my interval timer for 40 rounds of 10-second rest intervals, 20-second work intervals, that's 20 minutes, and just get my cardio done, 20 minutes, do my stretching, and then go have my shower, eat some lunch, and get on with the rest of my day. That is like 9 times out of 10 what I'm doing for my additional cardio. But sometimes I might go for a jog, or I might hop on the exercise bike for 30 minutes. When I have time, I'll go for a hike. It doesn't matter. It could be any type of moderate paced cardio that you want. You don't have to add on the cardio. Like I said, I'm not doing it today, but normally I would be doing it. The only reason I'm not doing it today is because, as I may have mentioned 6 or 7 times already, I have not been well this week. I am getting better. I think I might be able to do a little cardio today, but since this is Saturday and Sunday is our rest day, I've decided I'm just gonna pick it back up with some cardio on Monday. I don't want to push myself to do too much too soon. I did go for a walk yesterday. I did a nice long walk, a few miles, maybe, I don't know, somewhere between 2 and 4 miles. But it wasn't like a brisk walk. It was a nice slow pace. But I was okay. I was able to do that. So I've been gradually every day increasing the intensity of the warm-up routine, increasing the intensity of the workouts, and I've been hanging in there. So I'm very slowly trying to build up my stamina. So today I'm not doing it. So you don't have to do it either, but it's just something that I like to do after the workouts when I can. And I've always done the challenge this way ever since year 1 of the challenge in 2020. After each workout, I like to add on that 20 to 30 minutes or more of moderate paced cardio because I'm trying to get myself back in shape. I want to lose weight. I need to improve my stamina, obviously, and I want to strengthen my heart and my lungs. So the additional cardio goes a long way towards helping me to accelerate that process. It helps me to see results faster which encourages me to keep going. And the more I'm encouraged to keep going, the easier it becomes to find the motivation to get out here and do the reps every day. And that helps me build this habit of daily exercise. That's a big part of why we're doing this challenge. Doing the workouts 6 days a week, it's almost every single day. We're taking Sundays off because it's important to have rest days. But other than that, we're doing Monday through Saturday of every single week, 6 days in a row, every week. So that is what is going to help build that habit of doing daily exercise, daily workouts. And that's something that we want to continue beyond day 40 of this challenge. So I don't want to kind of lose that momentum by not adding on the cardio, but as long as I'm getting my reps done every day, I'm maintaining that habit of doing something every day. So it's okay that I've missed these last few days for health reasons. Obviously, you need to listen to your body. So if it's not a good idea for you to add on the cardio, you do what works for you. But if you can just find 2 or 3 days a week, I know 6 workouts a week is a lot, and I know that adding on cardio after each one of those workouts is a lot. If you don't have time to do 6 cardio sessions a week, I hear you, but if you can even just find time to do 2 or 3 cardio sessions a week, immediately after the workout and before you're stretching is when I like to do it. I think that's the best time to do it, but wherever you can squeeze it in, I just want to recommend that you consider it. You don't have to do it. It's not officially part of the challenge, but I just think that it's going to help you to see results faster, and I think that you will be a lot happier with your results at the end of the challenge if you do that. So it can be any type of moderate paced cardio you want. It doesn't have to be more than 20 or 30 minutes. It can be more if you want and if you have the time, and it can be just 2 or 3 days a week, more if you have the time. I like to do it after every single workout. I would love to be able to do my additional cardio today, but I'm not gonna push it. So just putting it out there because it's the way I do this challenge every year. So I wanna be upfront about the fact that I am doing more than just these 160 reps every day. And I just wanted to encourage you to at least consider adding on cardio sessions when and where you can. So the additional cardio is not required. It is not officially part of the challenge, but it is strongly recommended. But regardless of whether or not you're doing cardio today, our 161 reps are done. We have done our 40 squats, 40 lunges, 40 reps of abs, 40 push-ups, and 1 bonus burpee. So well done. That is officially a wrap on day 16. And that concludes our second full week of the challenge. You guys are doing amazing. If you did this workout with me today, thank you so much. Please let me know what you thought of it and how you did. Thank you to everyone who has been working out with me lately, and even if you are not doing the workouts with me, thank you for watching the videos. Thank you for liking and sharing the videos. Thank you so much for all of your wonderful and supportive and engaging comments. It really does mean the world to me. Thank you to everyone who's doing this challenge with me. If you are not doing the challenge with me, it is not too late to join. It's never too late to join. If you want to jump in today and just start with day 16, that's great. If you want to start on day 1, remember to just start your day 1 workout on a Wednesday. As long as you start with day 1 on a Wednesday, all you have to do is follow along with the playlist and everything will fall into place. It is super easy to follow along. Thank you to all of my new subscribers. If you are not subscribed already, please subscribe. And of course, a great big thank you to those of you who have been subscribed to my channel for years. Please know that I appreciate you all so very much. One final reminder that if anything is unclear about the format of today's workout, how everything fits together, how you can modify it or customize it, if you have questions about the exercises that we were doing today, any doubts about how to do these exercises with the correct form, or if you need help with beginner modifications, if you have questions about the challenge, how it works, why we're doing it, who's Brutus, where to start, how to participate, or if you have any general questions about how to do squats, lunges, abs, and push-ups. If you are a beginner and you don't think you can do this challenge, or you don't think you can do squats, lunges, abs, and push-ups, and you need me to convince you that you can, please just ask, okay? I am right here to help. I am doing the challenge right along with you every single day, but I am also here to provide guidance, to provide encouragement, and to answer questions. So please don't hesitate to reach out if you have questions or if you need help. That is going to do it for today. Tomorrow we rest. Tomorrow is Sunday. Sundays are our rest days for this challenge. So enjoy your rest day tomorrow, and I will see you all right back here on Monday for day 17. Bye.